The new champion Smolder came out, and I found him to be really fun, so I started playing him mid. But let's say I wasn't having too much success. It felt like watching Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon trying to do a barrel roll without his tail. Not a pretty sight. At this point, I went to watch YouTube guides on the champion so I could get a better understanding of the champion and start to win more games. By now, you should already know the champion, but I will do a quick recap for you. Smolder is a champion with some of the best scaling in the game. His passive stacks directly correlate with the damage output of all of his abilities. You'll be evolving his Q ability at 3 crucial thresholds, 25, 125 and 225 stacks. These are the moments when you'll hit your power spikes, allowing you to farm and stack more efficiently. Smolder is unlike other ADCs, since after your skills you can get an auto attack out, but you will be able to move instantly, so you will want to go in, use your cooldowns, reposition, and go back to using your skills when they are off cooldown. Since his passive is probably the most important skill in his kit, you'll want to play around it. So before 25 stacks you have the first way and the most common is to evolve your Q. This will allow you to stack the fastest in most cases, but you will be really weak in trade and your wave control will be really lacking. You will be pushed every time. The other start, and the one I think to be the strongest, is to evolve your W. This start is especially effective when you go to an early game skirmish and the enemy team groups in tight spaces, allowing you to take something like 8 stacks off your passive in some of those fights. Besides that, it is also the strongest option for laning phase, since it has some of the best base damage, is an area skill and has lots of range. With 25 stacks, you'll get the area damage on your Q, and you will want to prepare the wave in order to get the biggest amount of stacks possible, so you'll want to group the melees and use one Q to kill them all. And the same with the casters. There will be one point around level 7, where you'll be able to one-shot the casters by using your W and Q on them for easy stacks. With 125 stacks, you can farm the wave however you want, since at this point you will have around 2 seconds on your Q cooldown, and your skill will be bouncing from the original hit, allowing you to focus the melees and kill the casters. Quick tip, if you're 1 stack away from evolving your Q, you can prepare the wave as if you already got the upgrade, already granting some more stacks. And since the champion interacts pretty well with minion waves, you'll want to be fighting most of the time near them, or try to make your skills bounce off a target with less range that you can hit the easiest and bounce the damage onto an enemy carry. Or in an all-in situation with an enemy, you can maximize your damage by using auto attack Q, W, E, auto attack Q, which will give you the max possible damage since you can't cast skills during your E. About his E, remember that you should use it to avoid CC, because this skill scales off move speed, therefore you will get even more value after closing your boots or by popping Ghost before using it. And if by any chance you get slowed before using it, I can tell you it won't be pretty. And now for his ultimate. Even though it has an absolute massive range, it can be pretty hard to hit, because of its starting animation. So before using it, you should remember that you will be able to hit it easier if you hide your ult on Fog of War, use ult on stunned enemies, or use ults on fights for drakes, heralds or grubs, since you can sweep almost the whole river with it, making it 10 times easier to hit. Another good time to use your R is when enemies are all-inning you, so by just casting the skill on top of yourself, you will be able to heal yourself while dealing damage to the enemies and granting you a favorable trade. For the runes, you can change between these 3 keystones on the precision tree, but the rest is pretty standard. And for the build, the basics will do. By starting with Essence River and Navario Quick Blades, you can follow up with almost anything depending on the game. But even after learning all of this, there was still something missing. And my match history shows you how bad it was. I only won 3 out of 12 matches, which corresponds to a 20% win rate. Until the point that I found them. Yes, the green Chinese build of Smolder AP appeared, and boy oh boy if this is broken. This build consists on using this rune page, and on top of this, you'll want to start with Orange Ring and evolve your W into level 3 before maxing your Q. Because as I said before, this skill is some of the best skills in terms of base damage, and by doing it, your laning phase will be some of the strongest while you scale for late game. This way, you'll be able to apply pressure on the laning phase while stacking your passive to become a monster later on. And the rest of the build is the same thing. The only difference is that after your first base you should buy Dark Seal. And now, here are some of the best plays that I've had after start using this build. And while we see these plays, don't forget to like and subscribe and tell me what you thought of the video and what points can I improve on. And after start using this build, I only lost one game. Tell me what you think and tell me if you're gonna use it in your ranks. I see you in Summoner's Rift.